What's up guys, Taylor here with Boogey Lights. Today we're going to be walking you through how to use our Generation 2 mobile app. So follow along and let's get started. The first thing you're going to do is go to your app store and search for the Boogey Lights app. The first one that comes up is going to be the Boogey Lights G1 or Generation 1 controller app. If you scroll down a little further, you'll see the Boogey Lights G2 Generation 2 controller app. Click and download that one. When you first open the app, you'll see a notification to turn on your location services. This allows your phone to scan and connect to your Boogey Lights controller. The only time you'll see this notification is after the initial download. When the app launches, most of the screen will appear to be grayed out. This is because you have to be connected to a Boogey Lights Gen 2 controller for all buttons to be active. So, let's connect. Click the setup icon in the top right corner of your screen to scan for a controller in range. As soon as you press the controller ID, the loading icon will appear alerting you that the app is connecting to the controller you selected. When the app is successfully connected to the controller, the link icon will appear to the left of the controller ID. Next, you'll be asked to set a password for your device. If you happen to be in areas where there may be other Boogey Lights customers, this will stop someone else from connecting to and controlling your lights. Click the Done button in the top left to return to the operating mode. You'll notice an orange chain link in the top left corner of your screen, telling you your controller is now connected. Next to that, you'll see the red Master On-Off button. Once pressed, the Master On-Off will turn green and all buttons will become active, indicating your lights are ready to use. Next to that, you'll notice the operating mode button labeled RGB, letting you know you're controlling the multicolor aspects of your lights. Down below, you have a red, green, and blue color selection sliders to change the colors, as well as a light bulb to adjust the brightness. Below that are 3 presets to save your favorite colors, and an RGB on and RGB off button. If we move all 4 sliders to the right and select the RGB on button, your lights will come on to a bright white. From there, moving your sliders will change the colors. For example, want red? Pull down your blue and green sliders. Want purple? Add blue and red together. Want amber? Mix red and green together, and so on and so forth. There's also a color square located here for easier color selection. Just drag and select from over 16 million color combinations. When you find the color you like, select Save Preset and choose between preset 1, 2, or 3. Next time you open the app, just click your preset and you're ready to go. At the bottom of your screen, you'll see functions 1 through 7. Function 1, or F1, is the default steady on. F2 is single color strobing. F3, multicolor strobing. F4, color changing. F5, single color breathing. F6, multicolor breathing. And F7, color blending. The 5th slider is the speed control. The rabbit you see here will adjust the speed of the effect you have selected. Next, let's talk about zone control. At the top of your screen, you'll see a zone control indicator button labeled 1, 2. The zone control feature will only work with Boogey Lights Gen 2 dual zone controllers. If you don't have a dual zone controller, always keep the zone control indicator in the 1, 2 position. If you have a dual zone controller, pressing the zone control indicator button will toggle between zone 1, zone 2, and zones 1 and 2. Whichever zone you have selected is the zone that will be adjusted based on your app settings. Now that we've discussed the RGB operating mode, let's talk about how to control RGBW, RGBA, or RGBWW strips. Press the RGB operating mode button located here to switch into the X operating mode. In this mode, you'll notice 3 sliders. The first, a temperature/blending control. Most commonly used with RGBWW LEDs, where the 2 W diodes are connected to the X outputs on the controller, allowing you to change the color temperature from cool white to warm white. This slider will not have much effect on the RGBA or RGBW LEDs. The second, brightness control, to adjust the intensity of the LEDs attached to the X outputs on the controller. The third, speed control, to adjust the speed of the functions down below. Below that, you have 3 presets in the X operating mode separate from your presets in the RGB operating mode. And lastly, an X on and X off button to turn on or off the X diodes. Moving on, let's talk about timer functions. At the top of your screen, you'll see a clock icon located here. The Gen 2 controller has 2 timer functions, an on-off timer and a countdown timer. The on-off timer allows you to program your LEDs to turn on and off at preset times every 24 hours. First, set your lights to the way you want them to look. Then, choose your selected turn on and turn off times and press save. The lights will turn on and off at the times you set. The countdown timer allows you to program your LEDs to turn off at the end of the time you select. When setting the countdown timer, set your lights to the way you want them to look. Then select your countdown time in hours and/or minutes and press start. As for both timer functions, once set, you can disconnect and close the app. When you later reopen the app, the timer function icon will be lit, an indication that the controller has a timing function running. The controller cannot be used until the timing function is canceled. The final mode in our demonstration is the programmable color rotation mode. You can find the icon near the top right corner of your screen. This feature allows you to display any 2 or 3 colors of your choice in rotation at a speed you set. For example, you can set your lights to rotate through red, white, and blue for 4th of July by simply selecting the colors 1 through 3 and moving your sliders to achieve the look you want. Down below, you'll see the same brightness slider as well as a speed control slider. Underneath that are 2 function options, a rolling and a breathing feature. To switch to a 2-color rotation, select the 3 icon next to color 1. Additionally, you can save these configurations in up to 3 presets. Once you have your colors and functions set, click the Activate button here. The programmable color rotation mode will work with Zone 1, Zone 2, or both Zones 1 and 2. The last thing we're going to talk about in this video is the Setup menu. Click the Setup icon in the top right corner of your screen. Down towards the bottom, you'll see a Manual Connect and an Auto Connect. Manual Connect means you'll have to scan and select the LED controller you wish to connect to every time you launch the app. Auto Connect means the app will automatically connect to your controller every time the app is launched. The Settings button will bring up a menu to either add or reset a nickname for your controller, as well as a Change Password option. The Change Color Mode button takes you directly to either the RGB mode or the X mode, similar to pressing the Done button. And that's it for how to operate your Boogey Lights Gen 2 mobile app. Thanks for watching, guys. Light 'em up and travel safe.